Evening. My name is Scarlett and welcome to a new video. As judging by my YouTube post, I would have gone straight into uploading a new Sonic Racing video. However, that's been pushed off,
Operator,
not because I can't be asked. I'm finding it very difficult to meet the right circumstances to actually complete it. And I like to do things in order. So, you could probably guess the reason there aren't any more uploads on it specifically is that I can't pass it and it's really starting to get on my nerves. So ever since that post, I've been on vacation, which explains the long duration of wait. And I have recently started playing this game, Warframe. I joined it with a friend because they are normally someone who... what's the word I'm looking for? They like to play a lot of games, but also kind of just replay the same games they already play. So, I've been playing this game for, I want to say about a week. I have played it a very long time ago, but not like beta or anything like that. Like, it was just a couple years ago on Xbox, because that's primarily where I was playing everything on. But at the time, the only other console I had was a PlayStation 3, and I kind of had to make that last me. So the Xbox was, kind of just my way to get away from all that and actually play games with friends. Of course, the majority of what Xbox stands for with its memberships, especially back then, was a pain in the ass. Because forbid I wanted to actually hang out with someone that weekend, but I couldn't because I didn't have gold. Anyway, the new Sonic Racing video will be out. I would like to say soon, but I can't guarantee timeframes because personally, all it's doing is stressing me. And to be honest, I want it done kind of perfectly, It's annoying because I'm not really that much of a perfectionist, but I also just really like having my things done the way I want them done. So a lot of the time, I will just accidentally run myself off an edge, or I will accidentally, basically get bumped around a lot. I feel like it's because of the builds that I use. I use builds that make me feel happy rather than the meta or what's the best for specific courses, so I feel like that's what's making me suffer a lot. It is what it is, though. What's the word I'm looking for? So, this game really confuses me. And it's weird because I want to say I have a love-hate relationship with this game. Because there is a lot of stuff I would say that I would believe this game could do better. But at the same time, I feel like that's just me, less than it is the actual game itself. This becomes a really big annoyance, especially because there's a load of wait times. I don't like wait times. I mean, I don't mind wait times if they're reasonable, but it's like, to get a lot of stuff in this game, like, you have to grind like crazy. And it's like, the graphics are great, the story is well made, and I was kind of like skimming through it at first, but I came to appreciate it a lot more as I progressed, because it gave me a break from the constant, like, noise and sound effects. This game can be very over the top with it, to be honest. Not like it's a bad thing, it's a part of the game, and I guess that's kind of the appeal of it. Like, you feel incredibly strong. Like, a lot of my issues with this game stems from... it kind of feels like it only tells you a few things, And I suppose there probably is a tips category or something to actively help. But the only help I've ever really got is from people I know who play the game. And even then, they're very vague, because they kind of want me to play like they do, rather than play how I would. This becomes a really big annoyance for me, because I can only play certain games in certain styles. Oh wait, this is defense? I didn't even realize this was defense. No, how is this interception? I don't even know what this mission is. So, I'm a bit of a collector, right? I have this gripe with the game, which I think a few people do as well. Um, the relics, the gambling system. I think the relics are pretty okay for what they are. Although my issue with it is mostly, what's the word I'm looking for? Irritating, if you will. It's mostly because of things like how relics work. I don't mind how the relics work, but this also becomes a much more annoying thing when, for me as a collector, I like to collect all the blueprints because, not even just for selling, I like to just have like a complete set of something to prove that, oh, look at this, I did this, it's fun. But I've also been realizing a lot of parts which I need aren't really available in rotation anymore. You can only really get it during the events by the part off someone, or specifically by the relic where the part is in off someone, which is fine, it keeps the player economy going. But when my only option to complete things is wait for an event or have to buy something, yeah, I'm not really chuffed about it. And to be honest, it's probably just a skill issue. I don't have great people skills, so I normally have to rely on a friend, because, I never shorthand them, I feel like's the right word to say. Like, I always give them stuff they want in return. Like, I'd never expect to just, get something for free. It's like, they gave me this Warframe that I'm using. He gave it to me because it's based on my personality. Like, a lot of, like, I want to say I'm creative. I create a lot of story characters as I'm trying to write a book. It's probably going to go nowhere, but it's a passion project. Everyone has one. And they realized I'm into a lot of fantasy stuff. So they thought, well, why not be a bird? Which is, don't get me wrong, average harpy enjoyer, but I kind of just stick to like one kind of character class sometimes. So when I'm given the opportunity to be a bird, I'd rather be a bird, because it's really funny. Because there's a Warframe in the game called Gorse, which I'm pretty sure gives like a massive speed buff to itself and the party. But when given the right angles and opportunities, Zephyr can actually somewhat meet those speeds, like just base speeds of it. And I can keep myself in the air for ages as long as I have energy. It's really fun to find areas where I can just zip around rather than run. Because I remember they added a motorcycle not too long ago into I believe the 1999 content, and you could bring that with you into regular missions as well. And I like the idea of being able to zip around maps really fast. I do like the game has a lot of customization, because, that really draws me to a game. The only significant issues I have with this game is a lot of the primes. You can't really customize the primes, I mean in color-wise,
Extraction
you
is ready.
can
Unless you can handle
customize
more
the
of the enemy.
primes by designing them
Keep fighting.
with
Another
an already
opportunity to
base,
extract will
like,
appear soon.
Warframe skin, or if you would prefer to use an alternate skin that you have purchased for it, you can color those. But that really annoys me, especially as a professional hobby enjoyer. I'm gonna keep saying that because I have nothing better to do. Um, so Zephyr Prime has very distinct wings, kind of. Like the feathers protrude outwards, is what I'm trying to say. It's very, very noticeable. And regular Zephyr doesn't really have that, which is the one that I'm using currently, as it's only really got like flaps on its arms, which is fine. I do have the alternate skin as well, one of the alternate skins. But it kind of also ruins it for me in a way as well, because it does kind of look better based on a character design that I have for one of my stories. But it also kind of just gives them like for legs, which to each their own. But that's why I use the base Zephyr, the base Zephyr's design, because it has the talons I'm looking for. But it's annoying I can't customize the top half with the prime part because I would like to use the prime's wings on the arms instead of flaps. But you know, you can only really have one of one, I guess. So I'm using Prime's helmet instead. It's really hard to find ways to match things in here. And I don't want you thinking that I've gone a full edgelord going exclusively black and red. It's surprisingly not just black and red, it is actually black, red, brown, and some bits of orange here and there. So I'm trying to make it kind of like a phoenix. That's kind of the design I'm going for. But I don't really have a lot of options for that. So that's why I probably got to start selling things in the marketplace to get, what's it, platinum? I think I'm going to end up needing platinum to get way better, like, designs, I guess. But, I don't know, the customization is just okay. I do quite enjoy the story. Because originally it was, like I said, bits and pieces off, on and off. But when you really sit down to listen to it, to me it just makes me question things a lot more. So I remember my friends were making a lot of jokes about like, oh, this happens and that happens, and it just confused me because like they have a tendency to spoil a lot of the game, kind of.
Reinforcements available. Do you
Only
choose
if
to
I'm
leave
not
now
willing to
or
really
continue fighting?
like care that much about the story just to play
Continue
the
to
game.
defend. You will be
This game
rewarded
has
for your
enticed
bravery.
me to actually pay attention, which not a lot of games can actually do. And that's not saying I have a terrible attention span, I have a very questionable attention span. So it's very, very hit or miss. But the story in this game is great, and I'm not going to spoil things because personally I'd like you to try it out for yourselves. I do deem this game to actually be worth the time and effort to put into it, but just don't go in expecting it to be a very short game, because my PlayStation states that this is going into about my 50th hour, and it's either I'm incredibly slow, or this is just how long it takes. I remember my friend mentioning it might take about over 300 hours, at least for him, to get that far in. To
My Warframe is strong.
like the middle part, which scares me, kind of, because I don't want to say that I come on and off this game, because I don't. Like, I normally will play for long play sessions, but it does feel like I'm not understanding what I'm doing a lot of the time, because I'll do the story missions, I'll run around a bit, but besides that, like, I normally just stick to grinding fissures, which is the gambling for relics. And don't get me wrong, like, it's enjoyable. Like, all the mission types are unique to some extent. And I do like in some missions you literally can just run from A to B really fast. Some of my favorites are the capture and rescue missions, because to me they're practically the exact same mission, because if you're fast enough, you can literally just open the cell to rescue a character, and if you rush straight from the cell all the way to extraction, you don't even need to worry about giving them a weapon or even defending them. Because even if they get downed, you get like a good, I think it's a minute. Yeah, you get like a minute to revive them. So if you end up being far enough away, like, I'm pretty sure when they get downed, they get dragged along with you as well. So what ends up happening is you'll be near the end of the mission and you might have to revive them, or you're literally just right around the corner and you've blasted yourself straight through it. I normally find myself overshooting the extraction points because I'm incredibly, like, not fast enough, but I am fast enough to overshoot it, especially because I don't normally aim my camera very well. The sensitivity is incredibly low. But then you get really dumb things where I just completely pass it. But it's funny. The game is quite fun to play with multiple people. But it does also kind of feel like the game doesn't really explain strength well. And I don't mind taking criticism on that, because that could also just be me. Because I know you have to add mods, and I know technically you could add Orokin reactors and catalysts to increase the mod size on both the weapons and the Warframes, arc wings, yada yada yada. But I also don't want to commit to a weapon I'm not already feeling great with, because I really want to try and master every weapon that I can. But this also comes at the cost of not really sticking to one, because I need to also find the mods for it, which is fine. Like, of course you're going to have to do a bit of grinding for mods. This is an MMO. But it also kind of just feels like it's still chance. Like, there is still chance to get the mods that you need. And every weapon, like, you can't just use the same mods, really. I mean, you can. Yeah, I feel like it only really makes a difference if you're trying to build it. An Argon Crystal. Nice. Because for me, I keep switching my melee weapon. And it's been very jarring ever since I switched out of using Excalibur. Since Excalibur was like the only Warframe I had. Mind you, for like the majority of my playing session, until my friend literally said to me last night, "Oh, you might as well just spend the 50 platinum to skip the Warframe." Which I only had like a day and a half left on it, so I could have waited. But at the same time, I kind of got fed up of playing Excalibur, and that's not saying Excalibur is bad. I do like the sword. I do like the sword ability. But then it's also made me realize not every Warframe has an ability like that. So I'm stuck with a relatively underpowered weapon because I'm not actively able to get good mods for it. But I do like how the majority of this game is free to play. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to. And like, yeah, it comes down to a lot of grinding for things that you might want, might need. But at the same time, you can get basically all the weapons, all the Warframes for free. It just takes maybe an hour or so. Maybe even longer. It all just depends on the groups you play with, and if you play with yourself. If you play by yourself, I mean. If you play by yourself, you're less likely to get those items, but there's still a chance you get them. My biggest recommendation is see when is the fastest time you can get a different Warframe, since there are two different types of Warframe. Actually, I do think there's more. I don't think I got that far in just yet. But currently, to me, there's base and prime. Primes are technically stronger variants, as far as I'm aware. But also, they look different. They get their own, like, outfit changes, yada yada yada. The only main complaint I have with the Warframes is
Reinforcements available.
they take a very long time
Do
to
you choose
craft.
to leave now or continue fighting?
Like, an average Warframe takes about, I'd like to say, 72 hours.
The extraction team will take over.
But that's not counting unless you're able to actually make all the parts. If you're making all the parts, like, if you can craft all 3 parts to the frame at one time, you can get it done in about 3.5 days. But you're still looking at like 4 days. And, like, it's not pleasant. Because look, 72 hours for this is already annoying. But it's already 12 hours for each individual part. Which, again, the game is free, so you know you have to give it its dues to some extent. But this also leads into my issue of what happens when items get vaulted. Because you're not even guaranteed to be able to get all the parts for a specific Warframe. Because over time, they end up locking those parts, or a single part, behind a relic you can't really obtain anymore. So this becomes incredibly annoying when... Let me see, where is it? I nearly have all the Sevagov Prime items. I nearly have all the Zaku Prime items. I nearly have all the Ureli Prime items. I somehow nearly have another full set of Zephyr Prime. But my point being is there's always one which is so hard to get, and because I'm not at the point in the game yet, I can't exactly just get said item. Like, even with relative ease, like, it's still really hard to get some things. But I heard the community to this game is really nice, I guess. I know the community support is, well, a lot better than most games. Surprisingly, a lot of the people in the fanbase actually enjoy the game, unlike just hate playing it because they spent money on it, you know?
You must deliver payloads
But
and defend a number of locations.
I've been trying to branch out, I've been trying to figure out what I really want to do, especially with, like, content creation. And, like, I was always thinking of, like,
I am the
other
will.
ways I could do things.
Terminal spotted.
Maybe, like, do art videos, yada yada yada. But the thing is, I don't deem my art to be that great.
Tenno.
And yes, this could also just be me putting myself down. But at the same time, like, there are significant flaws in a lot of the art that I make. So, you know, it doesn't really equate well, is what I'm trying to say. It's why I normally just use it for thumbnail, because, to be honest, I just find it more pleasant to at least have my art on something rather than making a whole video about it. It's kind of like my signature, in a way.
Continue to defend.
It's really hard to explain. I don't know if I'll ever follow up on that story,
Stay
though,
focused.
as I did say I wanted to publish a book. It is one of my life's passion to create my own book. I want to do that. but I've lately been having, I want to say, creative issues. Because it's something I've been wanting to make for years, but this also comes at the cost of saying I'm going to do something, but then just not doing anything about it.
Keep moving.
But it's not like I don't do anything. Like, I do make the art for it.
Proceed
But the
and prepare.
problem is, it's like you have everything layered out in your
The
mind for
path
like
to
each individual
greatness is
scene,
walked one step
and
at a time.
I'm a bit of an odd person, so I kind of like, what's the word? I kind of mimic the characters down to a T, so I can try and get a better understanding for what kind of like character they properly are, like how they speak, do they use like, do they have like impediments, you know,
Location reached.
stuff like that.
Drop
I'm trying to
in
figure
and
out
defend our
what
position.
makes them them.
I'm in. 10.
So
This will take a
until
moment.
then, all I've got is the art show. I do plan on getting some of the writing done soon, hopefully, if I allow myself to do it. But this YouTube thing is not really something I do, because I'm very awkward at cameras. I don't like the idea of speaking to basically nothing, as if there is something there, you know?
Still working.
So this becomes an issue with content creation, because I'm also a bit of a perfectionist, so I kind of want everything I make to at least be serviceable.
Stay
That's why a lot of the videos I make don't have my voice in it, because I'm not really using a mic. I'm using the PlayStation's built-in microphone, and it's serviceable, but not even to like a good quality, where it feels like you've shoved a disc, or you've just shoved your phone like in the bathtub. Like, it's just so buggy
Area completed.
sometimes.
Move on.
It's never really clear. But I do enjoy doing it, and I'm glad to see that I got some traction on some other videos. Because I am happy that at least some people watched it. And I know a little
Here
someone,
is a terminal.
not
Get
naming
in
names,
and get ready to defend.
but there is someone I know who's been constantly watching my videos over and over again to get the
This
view
will
count.
take a moment.
Because someone, for some reason, wants me to succeed. Which is really funny to me. I joke, but I really appreciate being able to at least, I want to say, have an audience, because a lot of my newer videos, like, they didn't really get any views, especially not at this time. But that's fine, because at least the video is there. And sometimes I do watch my own videos, because I want to see where I can improve. Same with, like, sound mixing quality, because you can only do so
Still
much on a
working on it.
console
Continue
itself.
to defend.
But I don't know. I'm proud of getting at least over 100 views, because, to be fair, that's more than I've ever done. Like, you know when... The thing is, I don't know if it's, like, specifically my generation. So there was a It's really hard to pinpoint, but it's like... I kind of grew up wanting to be a YouTuber, as cringy as it sounds. But at the same time, I realised it wasn't really the specific thing that I wanted to do,
The odds were against us,
which,
but we
to be
did it.
fair, content creation isn't for everyone. But even for me, it just feels very stressful, especially when you have to meet deadlines.
Mission
So I always thought
Excellent
of,
work,
you know, uploading when I do. But then there's the issue of, oh, then no one's really watching your content because, you know, you're not really doing enough to really warrant the engagement. Which, I feel like that's just me. I feel like I'm just overwhelming myself with it. I'm a very simple person. I see what I call like a big number, and I'm somewhat proud of it. Because if I wasn't, then what would be the point? Like 100 views, like that may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, to me, I'm really proud of it. I honestly never thought I could realistically reach that kind of number, to be honest. And like I said, it doesn't sound remotely like a large number. But to me, it means I made something that someone at least was willing to sit down and watch. Even if they just decided to click on and off. I feel like that's just me, though. I'm a strange one, that's for sure. But still, I don't want to say that the future of this channel is uncertain, because I want to make an effort to at least upload once a week. But
Flash
because I
and
see
bite.
myself like a
The day
perfectionist,
is won, not with a
it
strike to the
really
heart,
really
but
irritates
100
me.
cuts about it.
I blame myself though, because it's just I'm not really doing enough to actually pump like content out. I'm also trying not to burn myself out. Uh, 1 second, just seeing if there's anything of interest for me. Oh, come on, have something, have something. Come on. Dang, my friend told me I have to buy a very specific thing. And it's like it only ever appears in this store, apparently. But it's just not showing up. So I'm really irritated by that now. Because I need it, kind of. Apparently, I don't get it. I know it's a specific one which is better for me. But I don't know. I appreciate everyone who decides to
And we're
tune in.
out.
I appreciate that some people at least want to leave a comment. Like I said, I'm a very basic person. But I'm glad at least some people decide to stick around and at least try to make an effort with me. I promise over time I'll be putting more effort into the channel. And I might try and lower my standards a bit so I actually get stuff done. I know this video has kind of been like a nothing burger to an extent because it's kind of just been like a bit of ranting, a bit of complaining. I feel like it's all been complaining. I feel like I'm too negative about it. I don't want to know what's going on in there. But to be honest, thank you for sticking around. I hope you catch my next video or you go back and watch something from my catalogue. My name's been Scarlett, and I'll see you on the flip side.